Hello, Brooklyn. I'm Ari Kagan, Democratic District Leader in 45th Assembly District in Southern Brooklyn. And tonight we are going to talk about community relations. Brooklyn is a beautiful borough. We live in the center of the universe. It's almost 3 million people. It's every nationality, religion, race possible. So it's a home to so many communities. And everything should be okay. We should not even talk about it. It should be automatic. But unfortunately, nothing is automatic in this life. And in order to improve community relations, in order for people just to talk to each other, just to acknowledge each other, just to learn about each other, sometimes it requires a very, very hard work. So tonight we are hosting a forum. It's called United We Stand. How Brooklyn communities can talk to each other, can cooperate for our better future and for our better presence, actually. And I invited tonight to this beautiful studio many prominent community leaders from every neighborhood of Brooklyn. They are already working on the ground, like we like to talk grassroots, bringing people together. That's why I invited all of them. I wanted to introduce all of my guests, and then each one of them will share their experience, what they are doing to make sure that Brooklyn is prosperous and that we live in a great, great city and we enjoy being members of the society in the capital of the world without all of this hate, stereotypes, prejudice, and so many other issues you're reading in newspapers, you're watching on TV. So I will start, I don't know, let's start from my right side, So I wanted to introduce great leader in Pakistani American community. Her name is Irum Hanif. I want her to say a few words. Irum, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Ari. My name is Iram Hanif. I am Program Director at Apna Adult Daycare Center and Apna Brooklyn Community Center. We are basically a community center and we are helping our community members in applying for their entitlements. Basically, I just want to give a little brief how we incorporated and how we established. So basically, initially we started a senior center by the name of Apna Adult Daycare Center. When we started a senior center in Brighton Beach, on Brighton 7th Street, people started coming to us and there were so many difficulties because of the language, because of culture, and because of religion. They were not able to navigate through the social system. So we identified the need of having a community center in the Brighton Beach area, and we established a community center. So through our community center, we help them in applying for so many benefits and entitlements when it comes to Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, disability, or food stamp. So this is a little brief about what we are doing at a community center. Over to the next.
Yes. Irum, we will have a chance to talk about what your center is doing because it's called Community Center.
Right.
Okay, we will talk a little bit later. Just brief introduction, and then we will come back to this topic.
Yes, my name is Ingrid Joseph, and I'm a civil court judge and the supervising judge of the civil court in Brooklyn, located at 141 Livingston Street. It's known as the People's Court, where we address all the issues that affect their daily lives.
And what is your neighborhood? Where do you live?
I live in Bed-Stuy.
Okay, Bedford-Stuyvesant. Brian?
My name is Brian Gottlieb. I've lived in Coney Island for the last 35 years. I'm the president and founder of Shorefront Toys for Tots, an organization that I created in my mother's memory in 1995. My mother passed in 1993 at the age of 52, and since we started, we've reached out to more than 40,000 children in terms of distributing holiday gifts during Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, sponsor child safety programs, reading programs, and doing anything we can to help children succeed in the future.
Okay. I just wanted to add that both Irum Hanif and Brian Gottlieb are members of Community Board 13. Again, they were chosen and appointed to Community Board 13 because of their involvement in the community. And when I say word community, I mean Brooklyn community. I'm talking about all our beautiful communities of Brooklyn. So another member of Community Board 13, Shirley Akins, please say a few words about yourself.
Thank you, Ari. Yeah, my name is Shirley Akins. I'm a resident of Cary Gardens. I am also a resident leader in which I oversee a development of 689 units. That's over 1,000 residents in my development. I also participate a lot within my community for as a politicians goes. I also have a seniors club in Coney Island, which is called Coney Island Senior Divas.
Okay. That's great. So we have members of Coney Island Divas Club. Very good. Okay, Irina Rosin.
My name is Irina Rosin. I came to Brighton Beach and Coney Island in 1976 as a child. Grew up there in the neighborhood with a dream to have a dance school that would be affordable for all the children in the community to study dance and arts. And I accomplished my dream, and the school is 32 years old, and it unites the children from all different background and religious, and we are so proud because our program is called World of Dance, where we introduce the community and all the kids to the culture of all countries that live in this neighborhood.
So we're talking about thousands and thousands of students of every nationality, race, and religion from all over Brooklyn, correct? So we'll come back to you later. Dr. Tim Law.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tim Law. I work for New York City Department of Education. I retired. I worked there for 35 years. I lived in Bensonhurst almost 40 years. I am the chief advisor of Chinese American Social Service Center. I conduct a lot of workshops every month, monthly meetings, invite the city officials, the police officer, city, the other elect officials conduct a workshop for us. So helping our community members get the most information. Later on, I'm going to talk about how we build a good relationship with our communities.
And you're also a member of Community Board 11.
Community Board 11 and Coney Island Hospital at JCH2.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Judge Stephen Mostofsky. I'm acting justice in the Supreme Court here in Brooklyn. I'm a lifelong Brooklynite, born in Brookdale Hospital, just moved a couple of 100 yards to the west. I now live in the Midwood community with my entire family. My grown children all live here in Brooklyn as well. I'm a justice, acting justice in the Supreme Court, where I serve in the mental hygiene part. I've been involved in many community organizations, the Jewish Community Council of Flatbush, as well as the Midwood Development Corporation, other organizations before I got on the bench, and now I'm doing my work on the court.
And I know that you were a member of school board as well.
Yes, I was a member. Thank you. I forgot.
Okay.
Yes, I was a member of the
Yes.
School Board District 21. Thank you, Harry.
Okay. And now Joseph Boa.
My name is Joseph Bova. I am the Democratic District Leader of the 49th Assembly District, which encompasses the communities of Dyker Heights, Sunset Park, Bay Ridge, and Bensonhurst. I'm a lifelong resident of Dyker Heights, and I've served as the former chairman of Community Board 10 and past president of the Bensonhurst Lions Club, just to mention a few.
Very good. Okay. So now we are coming back to the main topic of our discussion, community relations, how different communities can cooperate for the benefit of all Brooklynites. But before I continue our forum, I wanted to mention that this forum is sponsored by amazing home care agency called Easy Living of New York. And this is home care agency that provides absolutely amazing help to seniors, to people with disabilities. And I wanted to remind their phone number is 718-747-8685. And they have a very easy website, www.easylivingny.com. So if you want easy living, you can call them. And you will have very easy living in Brooklyn and citywide in New York. So coming back to our topic. Again, I decided to invite each of these amazing community leaders because I believe we have a problem in Brooklyn. And the problem is sometimes people live across the street, even in the same building, in the same neighborhood, and they're not talking to each other. And the problem is not like language barrier, oh, they don't speak certain language. No, that's not true. Very often people speak the same language and they do not want to talk to each other or do not understand each other or have some kind of like predisposed views of various communities. And again, we'll start with APNA Community Center. When you say Brighton Beach, what community immediately comes to mind? Of course, Russian-speaking community. Yes, Russian-speaking Americans constitute the majority of residents at Brighton Beach. But it's a little secret, but it's not just Russian-speaking community lives in Brighton Beach. How about Pakistani-American community, Mexican-American community? A lot of American non-Russian speaking Jews living in Brighton Beach area, and everybody else. So that's why I like hard work of organizations like APNA Brooklyn. It's called APNA Brooklyn Community Center. Each time I'm coming there, I see they service everybody, and they provide services for everybody, being like English language, for example, or like IDNYC program, or even events I saw you in the Brooklyn Public Library in Brighton First, again, for everybody. So please talk about it a little bit.
So as Ari said, that Brighton Beach is not only full with the Russian-speaking community members, it has many other communities living together at Brighton Beach area, including Southeast Asian community members, Pakistani Asians, then Bangladeshi, Arabic-speaking, Spanish and Mexican community members, Jewish community members, we all are living together. But as he said that sometimes it's difficult for the community members in terms of navigating through the system and getting the benefits out for themselves and for their families. So we have collaborated with city agencies, though we are a very new community center. It's been a year we established, but we have in this last year, we have collaborated with Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, and they have used our center as a pop-up site for IDNYC. And over there, many community members from Jewish community, from Russian community, from Spanish community, they came and they got their ID and IDs. They got their IDs at our center. We did partnership with Grow Brooklyn in last year, and we have provided free tax filing and preparation services where many community members came. It was our second year. We did partnership with Grow Brooklyn, which is a very renowned and well-established organization. Similarly, we did partnerships with Brighton Beach Library in terms of taking our community members to Brighton Beach Library and getting the services which the library is providing.
And I saw you and Pervez Siddiqui, the president of APNA Brooklyn Community
Yes,
Center,
me and
in
Pervez
Shorefront
Siddiqui.
Y
Yeah.
at a resource fair organized by Community Board 13.
Yeah, we participated in the Shorefront Y resource fair. We have already did partnership with Shorefront JCC in with their food pantry. And it is our second month that we are distributing grocery to the community members in partnership with Shorefront JCC. So we are open and we are working with all the other community organizations in better serving the community of Brighton Beach. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you see, this is the example, one of many examples how we can cooperate, you know, like when we're offering services of various organizations to everybody. That's how it should be. It breaks stereotyping, you know, like I was at Brighton Festival organized by APNA Brooklyn Community Center, and there were performances by Russian-speaking musicians.
Yes.
And like they invited everybody, and anybody from Brighton Beach could come and would be welcomed and embraced. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I invited you here, you know, like otherwise, you know, like, very often you see signs in several organizations or offices, no hate here, hate-free zone, you know. People who are in this studio right now, they're working every day to make sure that Brooklyn is a hate-free zone. And again, it's not easy because it requires sometimes a lot of patience, a lot of explanation, a lot of education, but it's very important that we hear all of these stories. That's why we're having this forum. And again, thank you to Easy Living Home Care Agency of New York for sponsoring this forum. Phone number is 718-747-8685. And you will have very easy living, and you can provide better living for your loved ones, especially seniors and people with disabilities, if you use services of Easy Living of New York. Our next guest, civil court judge Ingrid Joseph. I saw her talking to people at Brighton Jubilee, and she's not afraid to go all over Brooklyn. And I know that you have clients from every background, and sometimes people have predisposed stereotyping. Oh, when they see Orthodox Jewish judge or African American judge, and they see like, oh, probably, like I do not look like this person, then I will not get a fair treatment. So I wanted you to share your experience. I know you are also supervising judge. So it's not just you working yourself, you're supervising 12 other judges. So you have quite an experience. Could you share with us, please?
Well, what we've tried to do is to make sure that each individual's case is heard and that we provide everybody with respect and dignity, regardless of what your ethnicity is or where you're from. Our job is to try to make sure that we communicate, because communication is the best way that we can work through our differences. We have in our court different languages so that when you're coming to court, that you're not lost in the process because you're not able to communicate either to the judge or the arbitrator what your exact facts of your case are. So we've tried to do things to make sure that when we're talking or trying to resolve the matter, that everybody understands the process. We've tried to make sure that we have made signage on the floors as you come into the courtroom, into the building. Absolutely. So that when you're not lost because you don't understand. We've provided signs with different languages, and we've provided interpreters who sometimes we have to call and order a particular language, from Bengali to Cantonese to Creole, so that to Russia, Polish. So there's a range of people who help to service the community to make sure that when you're approaching a judge, that you're not frightened or that you're not making assumptions that are going to be made by you. So that's one of the things that we try to do.
And since you're a judge, I wanted to ask you one more question. Again, have you ever noticed that maybe it's an immigrant from another country where it was done differently? Like in every country, justice is done very differently, and so some people coming to your courtroom and feeling that they would be like immediately ostracized because of how they look, what they're wearing, and the way they talk. How do you feel about these situations, especially when you're talking about newcomers, like people who are in the country like for a few years?
And the first thing we do is not ask anybody about their citizenship. And that's one of the issues that people are afraid of. And they're also afraid that if they came from a country that the justice system is not based on juries or based on a judge listening to all the facts from all the parties before deciding. The assumption is that when they come in, you're automatically going to determine that because of how you look or where you come from or what you're wearing, that your position is not worth listening to.
Or someone already called you and said like, this is how this case should be decided. Okay.
Well, no, like we have independent judges
like
in our
mayor,
system.
President, like Putin calling someone, Okay.
No, we have independent judges who basically all have seminars to keep them abreast of the law, and then as a whole, we're all determined to give justice to the citizens of Brooklyn. So we listen to the facts, we apply it to the law, and we try to balance the equities of each community as it comes in contact with the law. So we try to dispel that fear that this is, when you're coming to court, that somehow it's all going to be a negative process.
So people should not be afraid
No,
to come to the court.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
The People's Court, Civil Court, is where you can bring your cases.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Brian, I was at several events you organized, Toys for Tots in hospital and in various communities, and you already explained why you are doing this, and you're a member of Community Board 13, you're former chairman of Community Board 13. And I know that you like to bring people together, like a hobby for you. So could you share any experience when you're working on this particular aspect of your life? I mean, Toys for Tots or education. I know it's your passion. You're also former school board member. So how do you see what should be done? What is not done so far? how do you see bringing people together? It's easy to say, but it's not very often easy to do.
Well, it's not easy to do, but first of all, the underlying principle behind Shorefront Toys for Tots is a child is a child is a child, without regard to ethnic background, educational background, or any other type of category. Child in need is a child in need, and that child's needs should be addressed without regard to any other factor. When I was chair of the community board, or with Judge Mostofsky serving on the school board, I was always trying to bring everybody to the table, trying to make sure that everybody had a voice and was able to express their opinion, their voice, their interests. And we realized that not every interest, goes through. Not everybody gets their way. It's always a compromise. But it's important to make sure that everybody's heard, that everybody has a voice, everybody is able to express their needs, their concerns, their wants, and not to be feeling that they were shut out or left out of the process.
So you're saying that sometimes very important just for people to be able to talk, just like to express their opinion.
It's also important to listen and to be able to incorporate.
Who should listen, by the way? Who?
Everybody should listen. Everyone should be at the table. Everyone should not feel that they're being left out.
Okay.
Even if their opinion is not the one that prevails, but they're part of the process, and part of what their wants could be addressed the way they want it, and even if it's not the entire thing.
Very good. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you. I like what you said. It's not just ability to talk, but also ability to listen. And sometimes people feel that like nobody listening. Sometimes people feel like nobody wants to hear any other opinion, So I'm trying not to talk myself now, and I give a chance to talk to Shirley Akins. She's amazing resident leader, and just recently she had a very successful family day, and she brought everybody, Russian-speaking residents of Coney Island, African Americans, Hispanic, Asians, you name it. So I know it's not easy, but your smile, your open heart, help people to feel like they're at home.
Yes, that's very good at home.
And your Facebook posts also, by the way.
Yes, you are one of my Facebook friends. So are you, Brian. I deal with a lot of seniors because they are the most vulnerable people. They don't have anyone to listen to, who can listen to them. So I look at it like they need a voice, because their voice isn't carrying loud enough for people to hear what they're saying. And I like to hear what they're saying. I mean, we talking about history from you looking at someone who was like 80-some years old, 90-some years old. That's history to me. That's something that I'm learning. I learned all of this here from my grandmother, at a young age when I was following behind her on her skirt. And it just stayed inside me to be around older people. Without them, I don't have the energy. They are my energy. They give me the strength. Because if they don't have me, they lost. And I don't want to see, our seniors lost like this. And another thing is that
Shirley, what I noticed at your family day recently, when you came to a group of Russian-speaking seniors,
Yes.
some of them do not speak English fluently,
yes,
but they embraced you, they love you, they praise you. So how do you communicate with them? What did you do for them so they love you so much?
I guess my smile, a lot to them, always say hello. The communication with me for them, I cannot speak Russian. But, it's expression on a person's face, the way how you approach them, what brings them closer to you. And that's what I do for the Russians. I have a Russian lady who used to live on my floor, Marina, and she's my grandchildren grandmother. Their Baba, what she called them, because, she known them for so many years. But I look at the Russians as if, they too need a voice to help them along because of their English barrier, because of their barrier to not speaking English that well. So I try my best to listen to what they have to say to translate that to them. And as a resident leader, that's one of my things that I have to try to do is try to bring everybody together. As I say, with 680-some units of 1,000-some people that I have to try to bring together, it's very hard for me. But I do the best that I totally can, young and old. But I like to see a more better, strong communication with the Russians because they sometimes sit by themselves and with nobody to talk to other than each other. But me as a person, I want to get to know them so they could get to know me, so I can also help them along the way.
So very important, if you heard Shirley correctly, even a smile, even you say hello in the elevator, on the street, how are you, even if the only word people know is hello and smile on your face, it's already bringing people together, as you just heard. But I know you do much more than just say hello.
Oh, of
How
course.
about in,
Of course.
solving their like everyday problems in their apartments?
Of course
How
I
about bringing their issues to the management? So
Of
it's
course.
not just hello.
Oh, no, it's not
Don't
just
try
that.
to be modest.
No, well, as a resident leader, that's what I have to do. Basically, I have helped many our residents inside the apartment, which is a NYCHA development, and I don't have to go through the issues as how things are situated now with NYCHA. A lot of them I look at and say, well, something isn't right, and when they come to me and try to explain to me, I have them write it down, and I do have a Russian interpreter to transfer to, translate it to me.
So you're making the effort
Oh,
so
yes.
everybody understands
I have
each
to,
other.
I really have to, in order for me to understand them, so they could know who the type of person I am for. And I would like to thank you, because on that day that I was having my event, I had to come to you to say, Ari, please translate, to them for me, and I was shocked to hear them say, oh wow, I know her, she's a beautiful person, because I've known them for many years, I could say like 16 some years that I have known them. Yes, and I thank you.
Thank you. So I also wanted to mention, I mentioned already Facebook, social media could be a weapon of good or could be a weapon of evil, as you know, it depends how you use it. And in case of Shirley Akins, she's definitely using Facebook and social media to promote love, to promote kindness, and she's talking about how to help children, any children, by the way. And then also you care about not just your building, not just your development, not just Coney Island, but also all Brooklynites and even all New York. You are ready to go to Manhattan, to other neighborhoods, just to advocate for your community. And again, I'm talking about community of everybody. So you care about our. Thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you, Shirley, for coming. So I want to talk now to Irina Roisin. Each time I'm coming to concerts of Brighton Ballet, I see children from, again, every background. And of course, parents are coming. They're talking to each other. And yeah, ballet, art, sports, always unite people. And this is one of the ways to bring communities together. Am I right?
Yes, I just wanted to say I love my community. I love Brooklyn because it actually unites people of all backgrounds. And Brighton Ballet Theater, we just actually created a book. It's called Coming to America. And this book shows about our students. And our students come from all over the world. And dance and arts unites everybody. And we have very unique Nutcracker production every year where we don't show the land of sweets, we show the land of friendship. And we bring original dancers from China, from India, from Africa, Russia, and we put those dancers together on stage for children to see that a different Nutcracker, a Nutcracker of different cultures. And we basically 10 best Nutcrackers in New York City just because of this, because the kids are very interested to see different type of dances.
And I never saw conflict in your school. I mean, children, different ages, different communities, but they're like working together so beautifully.
And they very good. They very good friends. Because arts and culture, it just unites people. And I think that we are very proud of our students and proud of our parents that they communicate and good friendship in our school among the families. And I just wanted to say I don't know, I think Brooklyn is the best because it's so colorful and so beautiful with all the backgrounds and all the kids.
And Brighton Ballet is located in Kingsborough Community College, so it's also like institution of higher education that's supposed to bring people together of every culture and every every creed, religion.
Yes, so we work with a lot of public
Asian
schools.
kids and Russian kids and African American kids performing beautifully. And also you're teaching them not just like Russian ballet, though everybody thinks it's Russian ballet,
No,
but
no.
I saw like Argentinian tango, you know
No,
better
we
what dance I'm
teach
talking about.
character and folk dance, but why it's Russian ballet? Because it has a technique. So only the technique of Russian ballet,
But a lot
which
of
is
other
a
dances.
strict discipline, and I think, and that's the only thing that is Russian. Everything else
Could
is.
you name a few dances, because it shows that you like we can learn from each other.
This year we did a new Cinderella ballet, and soloists from in this ballet, two young children. One is immigrant from Peru,
Oh,
and the other one immigrant from China.
that's what
So
I'm talking
the boy and the girl, and and they're in full scholarship. And I just wanted to say that Brighton Ballet Theatre is not just a school for dance, but we also give $60,000 in scholarship to our community kids, and we bring children from public schools into our school for free workshops, and we give out tickets for our performances to the community, to senior centers, to public schools, and that's what we're proud about.
Thank you. So another example, you see free scholarships for students for low-income families, up to $60,000 a year, free scholarships, providing families of every background, helping children during the holiday season with toys, helping every client from every community, every country in the courtroom, and of course APNA Community Center, bringing services to the entire community. These are all examples. How can we work together? How can we bring people like from every religion, nationality, so people are forgetting about their differences. They're talking about what unites us, if you can dance, if you wanted to learn to dance, any dance. You can go just to Brighton Ballet or any local school where you can learn it, and this way parents will be happy, children will be happy, and also everybody will be healthy, not just happy, but healthy as well. So Dr. Tim Law, I want you to talk a little bit. I know you're also working with kids and with seniors, but the most important, recently you participated in a press conference against hate. Unfortunately, yes, here we have great community leaders, but unfortunately there are episodes of hateful behavior, even unfortunately in Brooklyn. You know what happened recently in Bensonhurst? The person spent so much time trying to write derogatory comments about beautiful Chinese American community, and Dr. Tim Law spoke out against it. And by the way, he spoke out against hate toward any community, not just Chinese American community. I want you to say a little bit. I know you feel very strongly about this topic.
Thank you, Mr. Kagan. Okay, United States is a melting pot. Okay, in Brooklyn, we have different ethnic groups. There are so many ethnic groups, Chinese, Hispanic, Jewish, or something like that. As an educator, I strongly believe we must respect others' culture, languages, or religions. It's most important is religion. Don't ever think that my God is more powerful than your God. That's wrong. I live in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, over 40 years, almost 45 years. Okay, I witnessed a lot of conflict between the communities. Because what? Because of misunderstanding. They always thought that sometimes I walk in the street, they tell me, hey, China man, go back to China, or something like that. That's wrong, okay? So you must understand each other, communicate with each other, talk to each other. My job, see, I've been doing that for a long time, 40 years already in Brooklyn, Bensonhurst. I always set up meetings, community meetings, workshops, advise them, educate them. You must communicate with each other, talk to each other, understand others' culture. It's not because you come from where, come from Hong Kong, come from China, come from Russia, you think that you are better than others. That's wrong. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you must get out your community. Go out to other community. Because in Brooklyn, you have different communities, different community. The Chinese community, Jewish community, the other Hispanic community. I always bring our senior, our community member, join the other meetings, other community meetings.
And celebrations.
Talk to the others, community, each others, talk to each other, see any problem you're facing our community now, get a common ground. Must get a common ground. For example, like the Brooklyn South, they had to build up the garbage over the garbage station. Now, Assemblyman Mr. Colton leading us to fight back. So all the groups, we gather together to fight against this garbage station in Brooklyn, south of Brooklyn over there. That's one example. The other example, now recently, I don't know, you know that in 86th Street, somebody put the anti-Chinese graffiti on the wall. 4 Chinese merchants' stores, they're very upset. They talk to me, hey, Dr. Law, you had to do something. So we talked to Assemblyman Colton, we talked to Mark Chicker, Assemblyman, even the borough president too. Even the borough president, Eric Adams. So we held a press conference on Bay Parkway the other day. We helped community leaders one by one spoke out against this ridiculous graffiti. That's not wrong. That's not right. In the United States, we must understand each other, appreciate each other. Also, I suggest that we must. I also let our community members join the other the activity, like the Columbus Parade, the other block parties, the other community board meeting, police office, the police department meetings or something like that. Council meetings. Even though they don't speak English, I translate for them. No, because the Chinese, the language is completely different from English. You know that it's very difficult for us to learn. See, I have. I don't want to say I have a PhD, 4 master. I still have problem in speaking. See. Thank you for understanding or something. No, because the Chinese language is completely different from the English. So we have a lot of new immigrant in Bensonhurst and at Grayset. We had a lot of problems. So we always bring them to the other meetings, understand each other. I told them that you cannot stay in your own group. We must get out in order to build a good relationship with the other group. That's how you're going to improve the well-being of our community. Don't only thought that your community is much better than the others or something like that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Timlo. Thank you. Dr. Timlo, you know, he speaks from the heart because he knows he's member of community board himself. I saw Dr. Law at Police Precinct Council. He's talking about, yes, if it's a hospital like Konyan Hospital, Community Advisory Board, or like JCH of Bensonhurst, or Precinct Council, or like any local community organization, just come, just talk. Even if your English is not so good, please still come. They will find a way to explain to you what's going on. And you're learning so-called bigger picture. This way you will not be afraid of this another world, you know, like, and sometimes miscommunication because someone heard something from someone who misunderstood what was going on. And the best way is like, again, to talk, to learn, to come to local community groups. So now I wanted to talk, to give a chance to say a few words to acting Supreme Court Judge Steven Mostovsky. You're Jewish American, and if someone like Hispanic American, African American coming to your courtroom, should they be thinking, oh, he will not treat us like with respect and dignity because I'm not Orthodox Jew? I know what your answer, but still.
When I was running for judge, so you know, everybody tries to heckle you at some point in line. Now, when you're another type of politician, somebody may ask, well, what are you going to do for me? So they'll say houses, safer streets. Judge really can't promise too many things. So one time I finally came up, I said, I'm going to be fair. I never saw a look on a guy's face so dumbfounded that I actually had an answer that stopped him so quickly. And I think that's really my job. My job is to be fair and to make people comfortable. What the doctor was saying about people speaking the language, one of my most prized possessions, when my grandmother came here from Poland in her mid-20s, I have the notebook that she wrote when she went to night school to teach herself English, and is in script is all the English words, and when she couldn't pronounce a word in English, she wrote in Yiddish using Hebrew letters on top how to transliterate it, and I have that. So although Nobody can understand me because I have a Brooklyn accent. Everybody in my family was able to understand my grandmother, who came from Poland and spoke a wonderful English. And in the last year, I did a lot of traveling around Brooklyn to different areas. And the one thing that I noticed the most was that I had been or known people that lived in many of these areas. And the other thing was I noticed that how much, again, Brooklyn was alike. We had the same problems in the same areas, how a lot of areas with different religions and different cultures spread into other areas, and how people needed to get along with each other. My wife was a teacher for 25 years, and you would be surprised how many people we meet on the street that she has taught 20 years ago. A couple of people she's taught, a parent and a child. And these people, again, are from all cultural backgrounds. She met one student who's going for his PhD in philosophy, who's a Muslim student. We were actually going to the airport on a trip, and a Hispanic student comes to the door with the car service and looks at my wife and says, Mrs. Mostofsky, and she looks at him and says, and he was going to college and he had his children and everything they were talking about when she was his teacher. And so you can't get away from each other if you really live in Brooklyn. The part that I'm in right now is the mental hygiene part. And if there's any place in Brooklyn, I would say, that really shows that everybody is the same as in my courtroom. These are people from every background. There's not one that you could escape, unfortunately. There are people that have mental illness from everywhere. It doesn't make a difference of their age. We have people from the age of 14 up until the 90s. We have people that are short, fat, round, square, different colors, different backgrounds, different countries. We have interpreters that come to court. And these are people that come into us, and their only commonality is that they have a mental illness. And when I knew I was coming here tonight and I was discussing this with my wife, I said, I realized that my part brought this home to me some time ago, is that people come here every single day, and it came to the point where I just see the mental illness that comes in front of me. I don't even really see the person's background. You have to deal with what's in front of me every day. And people come in all day long with doctors and hospitals, and it's dealing with the people as people, individuals. And I think that's all we are. I think Brooklyn is a borough made up of individuals that come together because we're all together. No matter what we try to do, we're here together.
Thank you. May I say a few words? So, and I wanted to give a chance to speak to Joe Bova. He is not just leader in Italian American community, but he's also, as you heard, Democratic district leader. And each time you come into his club, you see Asian Americans, Italian Americans, Irish Americans, Jewish Americans, you name it. So, and again, the whole point of every club, of every leader is not to antagonize everybody. And even if your club is just specialized, I don't know, on a haircut, and someone coming, I need a bakery, cookies, you do not throw away, maybe you have some cookies to give, but at the very least, please show how to get to the bakery, even if you're not that type of business. So just, I'm not talking about being polite. I don't even like word tolerance, I like our acceptance. I think we have to be understanding each other. We have to be part of the Brooklyn family. I like word community. Definitely I like word community. Because tolerance, okay, I tolerate this person, but not necessarily like this person. No, it's not about tolerance. It's about understanding, So, Joe Bova, please say about your experience in your club and in your community.
Well, in our club, our community is 51% Asian, and that is due to reapportionment, and that happens every 10 years. And we, just go with the flow. We try to engage people in the community to be involved politically, to register to vote at the very least, and to be politically active as much as time allows them to be. I'm very proud that we have our first Asian American president of our Stars and Stripes Democratic Club, Irene Chu, and she's an up-and-coming star in our community. But by extension of the Democratic Club, we also, through our elected officials, Assemblyman Peter Abadi and Councilman Justin Brannon and Mark Traeger, are able to bring funding into the communities to enhance the neglect that may have existed beforehand, and to fund programs that are needed. And in social services, in child services, in infrastructure, and all that needs to be done. Our club one of the few clubs, along with yours and some others, that actually have a physical space. And so we're able to let community organizations meet in our space free of charge whenever they want to. And I would say that in Bensonhurst and Dyker Heights, Bay Ridge, we work very hard in integrating our communities, the different races, the different religions. We work very hard. We just opened up an Italian American center on 18th Avenue, and I have to tell you, it's very successful. But it's not only Italian Americans that use it; it is Asian Americans and Middle Eastern Americans, and it's used by people in the neighborhood. Everybody is welcome. Myself, through my own work with Lions International, which is a civic group worldwide. I mean, again, we distribute food to the needy. We have
Everybody, not just
everybody.
one group.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was my point. It doesn't make a difference what you are. If you're needy, and you need. I've for the last 6 years played Santa Claus to 200 handicapped children of all faiths and creeds and religions and backgrounds.
That's exactly
I mean, it's a wonderful thing, and I grow my beard a little longer so that when they put their hand up, they can really feel it, and then you really want to see the look on their face.
That's a great
But
example.
but Shirley said it, and you commented on it. Everything starts with a small step, and a smile and a hello is a wonderful place to start. But then you got to build on it. It's got to be more than that. And the disgraceful acts that happened in Bensonhurst 2 weeks ago, there should be no tolerance for that. And
That's right.
I'm happy that the leadership in that community, stood up. Led by borough president and the elected officials. It's very important, but it really has to start within ourselves, of listening. Not to be preachy about it, but we're all made in the image of God. Whatever God you believe in, we're all made in that image or her image, whatever it is, and that's where it starts.
Thank you very much. Very powerful. Thank you very much. Thank you. I wanted to add that unfortunately sometimes situations could be like just conflict between two individuals. Could be some conflict that has nothing to do with race, religion, or ethnicity, could eventually become something much more if community leaders, if elected officials from certain area are not trying to calm things down, but trying to make it even bigger than they are. And one of the examples is, in my opinion, what happened in East Flatbush at a nail salon. It was a conflict between customers and staffers. And I'm not saying who was to blame and who was right. That's up to investigation, up to police, up to communities involved. But some people afterwards made it like it's a big conflict between two communities, which was terrible. Because it was not conflict between communities. It was, in my opinion, business conflict between customers and staff people who worked in that specific nail salon. But instead of making it this way and explain what steps should be made, some leaders, people who call themselves leaders or elected officials, made statements that made the situation much worse, not better, saying that this is some kind of hate crime and some communities should apologize, some communities are under attack, etc. And this language is very divisive language, and it doesn't help the situation. And each time you see hate, you see division, you have to call it like it is. And again, people who are in this studio, and thank you to Brick Studio, thank you to Easy Living Home Care Agency for making it happen. Doing everything possible to prevent tensions and to show example how can we communicate, how can we work together. And on my side, I am 45th Assembly District. Each time Margarita Kagan, my co-leader, and myself, we're doing Thanksgiving Day celebration for Marlboro houses. not just like for Brighton Beach community because we speak Russian. No, we have to go to Health Essential Association, Lina Chen president, and to participate in. I cannot do lion show myself. I am not such a talented like Jobova, but we can enjoy to bring everybody to enjoy this lion show, and health fair by organized by Lina Chen, by beautiful Asian community or Marlborough houses, and that's how we do community relations. It should go from your heart. How do you feel? You go to another community, to any community. You go to next building, and you say hello, and you smile, and you say, tomorrow will be like Brighton Jubilee. Tomorrow will be Family Day at Kerry Gardens. Tomorrow will be Lunar New Year celebration, correct? Or not tracker performance, or Toys for Tots, what Brian was talking about, And we were just joined by amazing community leader, Nancy Tang. She is a Democratic district leader in 47th Assembly District, which is Bensonhurst and Gravesend. And we already talked about community relations, how to bring people together. I know you and Assemblyman Colton and Mark Traeger, your club doing a lot of things for many different communities, so people will enjoy calling themselves Brooklynites. Could you say a few words, please, Nancy?
Hello, everyone. I am the district leader for the 47th Assembly District, which is Gravesend and Bensonhurst. I like to have everybody get together, because in New York or in America, this mostly are immigrants. People come to America and they want to have a good life. So therefore, there are so many diverse different groups. And how do you live together with so many different groups? By learning about each other's culture. Sometimes people just want to stay with their own group, but I don't think this is good. We should all learn. So we try to bring our culture to the public and introduce them. And I would like other cultures to also do the same thing. And if we have an event, I want to put it out and invite the public to come and join us. And same thing with other people, whatever the ethnic group is. Everybody wants the same thing, no matter what group you are. Good education, a good health, and a good neighborhood. And how do we get all these? We get all these by working together with everyone around the neighborhood. And
Nancy, I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to say a few practical examples from your work. I was at your event celebrating war veterans. You invited everybody,
Right.
Italian Americans, Russian Americans, Jewish Americans, Asian Americans, or Women of Distinction Award, from every community in Bensonhurst and Gravesend, everywhere.
yes, I work in the assemblyman's office, but we always have events. Whatever, we always have different groups. Ever since I started working at the assemblyman's office, but this was long time ago, I always say I want to work together with all ethnic groups, no matter where you're from. It is so nice to learn about each other. And we have a club, a United Progressive Democratic Club, which we have, right. And then we have, sometimes we have meetings, and sometimes we even have a party. We invite people to come over the neighborhoods. This is how we try to introduce ourselves and to learn more about other people. So that's what we are here today. Try to let everybody know about us and we know about you. So therefore that we can all live in a good community, to share everybody's view. This is why we are here today. I'm sorry I'm late because of the train. Back and forth, back and forth. So this is New York, but we live New York. And we love New York. Thank you, Ari.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, every day I travel by train, and train is basically New York. You see everybody. In train, you see, when you're on train, you see entire United Nations, and that's the beauty of living in the capital of the world. And we all need to learn from each other, and it's not just cuisine, it's not just Italian cuisine or kosher food or Russian restaurant or Chinese food is amazing, but it's also, like saying hello to each other, smiling to each other, like saying, how can I help you? And most of the people in New York, in my experience, are very friendly. They're like my first experience, my second day in New York City, African American young guy just showed me how to get from one subway station to another. It was completely different road. He didn't need to do it. He basically almost held my hand and said, no, you don't speak English, let's go. And like it took him a while, and I was so impressed, like I couldn't explain what I want. I just said, how can I get to this subway? Our train, Rector Street, I need it. And he walked me all the way till subway station. I was amazed. And again, most New Yorkers are well known by their friendship, But unfortunately, again, the reality is not everybody is like this, Unfortunately, there are some people who are just jerks, And but overwhelming majority are good people, good heart. And all community leaders that are speaking tonight, you see so many good examples, good character, good community projects. And we have much more in common than something that divides us. I wanted to praise again, to thank Easy Living Home Care Agency of New York, and very easy phone number 718-747-8685. Even easier website www.easylivingny.com. And if you want yourself or your little bit older relatives, like here everybody's saying like senior citizens, golden age, and I like it this way. So just contact Easy Living and you will have golden age, and it's I think that's the best way here to make easy living for all of us is to be able to communicate. I wanted to thank each one of you. If someone wants to say something by the end, I would appreciate. I'm taking most of your time, and I got this big chair, and you got not such a big chair, but I wanted to thank, of course, Brick for doing this show. I believe maybe it's the first show, but not the last one. Someone learned something from this one. We do not expect miracle overnight, but the best way to learn about each other is to ask questions, to learn about heritage. And this is the beauty of our city. So thank you so much. And again, I see you again. We'll try to do it all over again. Thank you to each one of you, not just for coming tonight, but for doing what you are doing, for helping every person, for bringing communities together, and for showing example. You're doing it not just by your words, but by your actions. You're in my opinion, the best of what New York can offer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Kagan, may I suggest that in the future, is it possible for you to set up a meeting like this as all community leaders come together? Don't have to be on the TV station, okay? As it make me nervous. Okay. So maybe community centers or the other schools or something like that. So we could communicate, talk to each other. Thank you very much.
We'll do it. The only reason why I brought to the studio, because it's like hundreds of thousands of people watching us right now. So it's not just for 10 or 12 people in the studio, but it's for hundreds of thousands of people. And in the community center, you can have a lot of people, but not tens of thousands. That's one of the reasons. I promise we will do it in the community center. Everybody will agree to come?
Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, and enjoy your beautiful evening, beautiful day, beautiful week in our great borough of Brooklyn. Thank you so very much. Very truly yours, Harry Kagan.
Can we do one more opening one more time?
Opening,
Yeah, if we can.
and everybody will introduce themselves.
Yes.
Okay, one more time.
Just from the beginning, like the first few
Introduction. Okay. One more.
I remember. You were born at the Living Home Care of New York, and
We're doing a couple of transitions if we can.
Okay.
Like,
So what should I do?
Now and then, you did great.
Thank you
always
guys,
fabulous,
you all
all y'all.
did really great.
Now and then, segue away and come back in. So we can have a commercial break, so we can talk about, throw a PSA on that, or a PSA on what they're talking about. Give us somewhere to go. But what we doing?
I mean, to have breaks, you mean?
Yeah, try to break it up. We live the tape. Don't worry
You
about
never
it.
said to have a break.
No, but it's good though. We got the real essence of the conversation. But now, as we go on, give me a break so I
Okay.
can fit it in. All right?
Okay.
So I can talk about this ad. I can talk about what they doing. I can throw that in there. Do all of that. I need all those breaks.
Everybody's doing amazing things.
Okay? You got
Okay,
it?
got it.
All
Okay,
right.
okay. So we will do beginning again, like so. Okay.
Now we know what we said
Hello, my
wrong.
name is Kristen. Hello, everybody. It's just a big favor because it's a big difference in voices, and you have a beautiful but strong voice. So when you speak, try not to speak too close to the mic because
Okay.
it booms.
Wow.
The difference. But thank you so much. Appreciate
Nobody
it.
said it before.
Wait. I've heard what people said about
Okay, okay.
that. Listen, that's a cultural thing.
Okay. I didn't know. Maybe I don't need microphone, by the way.
Okay,
No,
no,
you-
you good. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry. Everybody ready?
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Good evening, Brooklyn. My name is Ari Kagan. I'm a Democratic District Leader in 45th Assembly District. And tonight I invited many community leaders from all over Brooklyn to talk how communities of Brooklyn should live together, should cooperate with each other, how can we prevent hate crimes, how can we educate our neighbors and ourselves, how can we learn from each other. Most of Brooklynites and New Yorkers are very, very good people. But again, the best way to go forward is to learn from each other. And that is why this conversation, this forum is called United We Stand. It's very patriotic, as you can see, but all of the community leaders who are tonight in this beautiful studio are here because they're doing this. They're helping people every day. People of every community, race, nationality, religion. So I want them to introduce themselves because not every time they're in this studio, not every time they find the time. They're very, very busy people. So I'm very grateful to each one of you for coming. So let's start from my right side. Nancy, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Nancy Tong, and I'm the 47th Assembly District Leader, Gravesend and Bensonhurst. What I do is that I see constituents that comes to our office. There are many different groups of people that comes in. Our office sees like about 6,000 constituents a year, and that's in the Assemblyman Bill Colton's office. That's what I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
cut,
you.
cut.
I shouldn't say that, right?
No, you can say anything you got to say. Listen, this is what we need to do. I want to bring it to your attention. I want to do an opening. I want to highlight each and every one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's what we're doing.
Okay, but I need to, give me time. He said, give me time to get that shot so I can throw up the lower third, and then we go to the next person. Give me time, lower thirds, like
So should we now go to next person?
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
but-
giving you time.
that. No, no, but you understand, when it comes to editing, the faster you go, it's gonna be hard for me. So I gotta
Okay,
explain
okay.
to,
Okay.
give me, take your time,
So, but
that way I can
but
get
Nancy already
Traveling
okay.
time.
Nancy.
Needs a little traveling time.
Yeah, a little traveling time.
Okay.
Give me a chance to slip up and get
Okay.
back up, all right?
Ari,
All right. Thank you.
Start again and talk about her being a leader. She didn't talk about it. She didn't mention it at all. She's a district leader. She's talking
Oh, she did say. She did say. She did
Oh,
say.
okay.
She did say. So can I go to second person?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, our second guest is Erum Hanif. She's a program director of APNA Community, Brooklyn Community Center in Brighton Beach, one of the leaders in Pakistani American community in southern Brooklyn. Please, Erum.
Hi, my name is Iram Hanif. I'm working as a program director at Apna Adult Daycare Center and Apna Brooklyn Community Center. We are serving our community members when it comes to applying for the benefits and their entitlements. We help them out in applying for all the benefits, including food stamps, Social Security, disability, Medicaid, and Medicare. And I'm a member of Community Board 13. I'm here tonight, and thank you so much, Ari and Brick TV, for inviting us today. And that's it. Thank you.
Going back to the head, the top. Going back to the top. First lady.
Again, First Lady?
First lady.
Nancy Tank again?
Then the second lady.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I can hear you guys.
So one more First Lady?
Okay, just guys. Shh. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I'm listening. Stay standing.
Should I stand?
Okay. So what we want to do is you stay standing
Okay.
and you will introduce each person at a time. So we want introduction for each person one more time because we want to get a second shot. If you can, if not, we'll.
By the way, it's the last time. Everybody is tired. It's a little bit hot here. It's the last time, okay?
So yes, that's the
Last time.
Yes, that's the last time.
I'm sorry, because we're doing it second time already. Third time we will not do this.
Yes, I
Okay?
understand. Just quickly, just each person one more time. We're gonna get paid. We have that.
I'm not introducing them. I'm giving them microphone. I will say only the name, title. That's all.
Yes, they can just
Okay.
pass the mic.
Okay. 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 So I wanted to introduce guests of this forum. Our first guest from my right, Nancy Tank. She is a district leader in 47th Assembly District, which is Bensonhurst and Gravesend. Nancy Tank. Please, Nancy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nancy Tang, the district leader for the 47th Assembly District. I am in the Assemblyman's office working and servicing constituents, helping them with the problems. There are so many people that who needs to be helped. So in our office, we take lots of people, no matter what ethnic group they are, they come to us, and they are different ages, and they come and ask for help. So that's my job, is to help everyone that some people don't understand the language. See, in our office, we have people who speak Russian, we have people who speak Spanish, who speaks Chinese, Italian, all different languages. So they come in and ask for help. And our job here is to service everyone and to help the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Erum Hanif, Program Director of APNA Community Center in Brighton Beach, prominent community leader, and she is a member of Community Board 13. Please, Erum.
Hi everyone, my name is Iram Hanif. I'm working as a program director at Apna Adult Daycare Center and Apna Brooklyn Community Center. What we do is we help our community members in applying for their entitlements, for their benefits, when it comes to applying for Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, Disability, or food stamp. We help our all community members in navigating through our social system. This is what we are doing, and we are collaborating with other organizations, city agencies, and elected officials in terms of bringing more facilities and more services to our community.
Thank you, Erum. I also know that Apna Brooklyn Community Center helps immigrants to learn English. Yes. And I also know that Apna Brooklyn Community Center works with Shorefront Y, Brooklyn Public Library, Community Board 13 to provide services to everybody. Okay, now I wanted to introduce Civil Court Judge Ingrid Joseph.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ingrid Joseph, and I am a civil court judge. I'm also an acting Supreme Court Justice of the Supreme Court, as well as the supervising judge of the Civil Court. The Civil Court is known as the People's Court, where anybody, regardless of economic situation, regardless of your ethnicity, you come to resolve your problems. And what our purpose is to make sure that you are understood, that you have an opportunity to be heard, and that you're treated with dignity and respect. Our 12 judges at the Civil Court work every day with cases involving the community. We have decided to set up interpreters of all languages to make sure that we are able to communicate and that the litigants are able to communicate their cases effectively. We've also put signage in different languages on each floor, allowing for the easy access to justice in the civil court.
Next guest, please. Look at camera two.
So, Brian Gottlieb, a member of Community Board 13, president of Toys for Tots, very good non-for-profit organization. Brian, please.
Thank you, Ari. My name is Brian Gottlieb. I'm the president and founder of Shorefront Toys for Tots, an organization that I created in 1995 in my mother's memory. And I'm very proud that we've been able to reach out to more than 40,000 children since we started. And I'm also proud to say that I've worked with pretty much everybody on this panel, including Ari, in the context of putting together reading programs, child safety programs, blood drives, and much more on behalf of the community. And I think that it's important that we all continue to work together without regard to looking at any one group. You have to look at the whole picture in terms of helping everybody.
Thank you, Brian Gottlieb. Thank you very much. Shirley Akins, a resident leader at Cary Gardens, one of the largest developments in Coney Island, member of Community Board 13.
Yes, my name is Shirley Akins. I am the resident leader for Cary Gardens, which is a New York City Housing Authority development, and we hold almost 1,000 some residents. I also have a seniors club. It's called Coney Island Senior Divas, because they are divas. These seniors are very well divas. I do want to thank you, Ari, for inviting me here today, and I look forward to continue to work with you.
Thank you, Shirley Akins, very prominent resident leader from Coney Island, very well respected, member of Community Board 13, always going another step, another way to help people. Thank you so much, Shirley. Thank you. Irina Roisin, director, executive director of Brighton Ballet, School of Russian Ballet, Brighton Ballet Theater. Irina Roisin.
Hi, my name is Irina Roisin. I'm the founder and the director of Brighton Ballet Theater, and I would like to
Start again.
I was looking in this
No,
camera.
no, no, no.
Oh, no,
This side looking there.
Oh,
This side looking there, this side looking there. Yeah, okay, start again.
My name is Irina Roisin. I'm the founder and the director of Brighton Ballet Theater, School of Russian American Ballet. Our school is 32 years old, and we are proud of a community school that was created to unite the children from all backgrounds and culture and arts.
Thank you so much, Irina. Thank you for your hard work on behalf of all children and families of Brooklyn. Thank you very much. Dr. Tim Law. Dr. Tim Law is a very prominent leader in Asian American community of Bensonhurst. He's also member of Community Board 11. Dr. Tim Law.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Law. I'm retiree on New York City Department of Education. I was an education administrator for 35 years. Meanwhile, I'm an advisor of Chinese American Social Service Center. My organization helping the new immigrants apply the social benefits. But myself, I try very, very hard to help the other ethnic groups to understand each other, talk to each other, understand others' culture, languages. Most important is a religion. Don't ever think that my religion is more better than you. My God is more powerful than you. That's wrong, okay? We must come together, talk to each other, understand each other. We have enjoyed the other ethnic groups' special events, like the Chinese New Year, Columbus Parade, and even the Black Party, community meetings. I also bring my community members to go to other meetings too, other ethnic groups meeting. Let them understand what's going on in other neighborhood. That's the most important. Don't always stay in your own group, your neighborhood. Thank you very much.
Should I introduce? Acting Supreme Court Justice or Judge, how to correct? Judge or Justice? Judge? Justice? Okay. Acting Supreme Court Judge, Steven Mostovsky. He was involved in a school board before he was elected. He was member of various community organizations. Judge Steven Mostovsky.
Thank you very much. For the last 6 years, I've served as a civil court judge, in the last year and a half as a acting Supreme Court justice in the Brooklyn Supreme Court. My part is the mental hygiene part, and if there's anything that brings people together and you see how everybody is the same, it's where I sit. Unfortunately, there are many people that suffer from mental illness, different severities, and those that are hospitalized many times are brought to court in my part, and we have to make the very tough decision of whether or not they need to keep on receiving services in the hospital, whether or not a parent has to come in and hospitalize a child or a parent or a sibling. And these are very difficult decisions to have to be made. And we have doctors and others that come in to testify. But the one interesting thing that I've noticed over the past year and a half is that unfortunately mental illness doesn't escape anybody. And if there's one equalizer in the communities in Brooklyn, is that it's unfortunately an equal opportunity offender. Nobody escapes. There's no prejudice at all in this part. Everybody, unfortunately, that has to come there is there by themselves as an individual, as a member of the community, and we try to do our best as a community to help each individual as they come. And that is, I think, also what we would like to see Brooklyn. It's a borough full of individuals, yet it's a borough full of people. And that's how we should look at each other and our borough.
Say again your name one more time to the camera. Look.
Acting Justice Steven Mostovsky.
You don't need to repeat your whole story about Christmas. Just introduction, first part. Just introduction, brief. Okay, and our last guest, but not the least, by the way, very important guest, Democratic District Leader Joseph Bova, who represents beautiful neighborhoods of Dyker Heights, Sunset Park, Bay Ridge, parts of Bensonhurst, very active in the community. Joe Bova.
Thank you, Ari. I am the district leader of the 49th Assembly District, as Ari mentioned, Bay Ridge, Bensonhurst, Dyker Heights, Sunset Park. And we work very hard in meshing those various communities, the various ethnic groups, the various religious groups that encompass those four communities. Our organization, the Stars and Stripes Democratic Club, has a clubhouse. When we invite people down and we encourage them to engage in politics.
Thanks, everyone. That's all. Thank you. You promised to bring some water. Everybody wants to drink water. Is it possible? Okay. We need to listen. Should I say anything about easy living one more time?
Why not? What we all say.
Thank you.
Water is at the kitchen.
Okay.
Have some water and.
Okay. Thank you so much. Да, все. Я же сказал, будет 6 до 8, 7:40. So first part will be on Tuesday evening, channel 68. I believe tomorrow or next week.
The party is like 40 years old. Get a hold of the guy who chairs it.
That's terrible. I hate that when it happens on the train.
I'm not responsible. Email's not working right now, but the number
As you pull in, the train door closes.
We've been moving more and more, and that's why I said it.
I say.
yeah, so what do you do?